Hi, Samantha here from Consignment Chats. I love board games, and lots of people think that I mean high-end board games and all those fancy things that our friend Ben does at his game meetups and all the conferences he goes to and all them. No, no. I do love those games. I would love to go to those conferences, and I love when I come across them, and I love playing them. However, I just mean games that you can pick up at a thrift store. Just the basic $1.99, $2.99 games. Here's one that I'm going to show you how I part out. Here's one that I'm not going to part out. So I'm going to share how I do it, how I come to that decision of part out or not part out, and what my process is. First of all, I love parting out games. A lot of times the boxes are long, they're bulky. You don't have another box to put this in, or you have to Frankenbox it or cut it down, or my husband hates using our box cutter, which I do not get, but he's my shipping manager, and it's so much easier to just part them out. Also, most games are missing a piece. Let's be real here. Most of them are missing some sort of card or piece or the right dice or whatever to make them a true complete game. But if you can take the remaining tokens and sell those for $9, or all of the cards and sell those for $12, or sometimes just the instructions will sell for $9. If you can take what normally would have sold as a $15 game and not worth picking up and part out all those pieces, and now it's a $40 game, plus they take up this much space in your inventory and this much space when you ship them. That's why I love games right there. I also love that people message me and are so excited to complete the game that their grandma left them, or make a craft item, a very specific craft item or gift out of pieces. So make sure you list them on Etsy. There's categories for that. Or they're just excited. They lost a piece when the game went flying on game night, or maybe the dog slobbered or chewed on that one card, and now they can replace it. So I love hearing all the stories and making other people's games whole again. Maybe they just needed to replace that game board and not the whole game. I love it. When it comes to games, I look them up and comp them. I use product research on eBay, and I just go back like a year. Unless it's like a super rare game, I just go back a year. I sort by what has sold recently, the most recent. And that's how I get the market, is just to see what's out there, what's selling. If a game's typically under $50, I'm going to part it out. Depends on how many pieces it has. And I recently sold a whole vintage game. I don't remember the name of it, but I will pop up all of the games or game pieces that I have sold in the last month. Let's put those here. So one of those that I'm going to pop on the screen, one of those, I sold the whole game, but the whole game was literally just cards and like a holder. So I sold that for $20-something. Great. Perfect. Parting it out isn't really a thing unless you start breaking down cards and doing. I don't go crazy in depth with that. A basic Monopoly game, I'm going to put the mortgage, like the deed titles, deed cards, and chance and community chess. I'm going to put those together. I'm going to take all the tokens, put those together. I'm going to take the houses and the hotels, put those together. Those are 3 different listings. Instructions, probably just throw in with the deed cards, or maybe the dice and another piece. The board is separate. I price all those depending on the game. Some of them are more rare than others. I price them all around $9, $10. Some of them I go up to $12, $15. Okay, stop. I had to interrupt this. I had to show you guys because I made a sale while editing this video today. I sold 2 packs of replacement Monopoly money, vintage. I don't list a year. It just, if it's old, it all gets lit, Oh, there's another quantity. Oh, there's another quantity. I always have like a dozen of these in stock. They sell on Etsy so much. And then also had a listing for houses and hotels. 2 packs of these. I only had 1 in stock, but I happened to have that pile up there of unlisted games, and I had a real old school Monopoly in there with more houses. And these, the reason I'm interrupting is such a big deal, because I've sold all kinds of game pieces today. The reason that I am so excited about it, the buyer paid over $100 for these to get them to Switzerland.
What?
Yeah, about $33, $35 worth of actual listings. The 4 listings, they're on sale, Cyber Week, whatever. So there you go, about $35. Because of the way I have international shipping and multi-quantity things set up on Etsy, because I'm super new to international shipping on Etsy, and I do flat rate shipping. So I have like a $30 a piece shipping, and I think it's discounted a little, but they paid over $75 just for shipping. Then you add their VAT and the taxes and all that stuff. So there's money in game pieces, I guess. Okay, resume. Nothing crazy, but even if I priced all of those at $10, I just made 4 or 5 listings for $10 a piece. Most Monopoly games are for sale on eBay for $10, $15, $20. And it only takes up a little bit of space. I do not have a lot of inventory space. These can just go in a plastic shoebox. I have shelves full of plastic shoebox bins. They all have their bin number on the outside. The item goes in it. It's super easy to pull when you're doing your shipping and all that. Very, very easy to keep track of. So when I'm looking up games, say this one, for instance, the Tree of Knowledge, is a vintage religious game from Aurora, Missouri, made in the USA. I don't remember the date on it. I have not opened this up yet. It is still taped. Goodwill sticker. The Goodwill sticker has $2.99 on it. Knowing me, I probably didn't even pay $2.99, but maybe. I think I got this when I was traveling somewhere with the girls. So as long as this is complete, I am going to sell this all together, because when I looked it up in eBay research 6 months ago, probably when I bought it, sells for about $25. The whole game complete, whether it's sealed or not. Now, because I filtered my search from the last year newest sales to oldest sales. 2 sales ago, it sold for $50. The last sale, which was just a couple days ago, it sold for $75. When I filter over to active listings, there are only 2 of this game. One is listed for $149 and one is listed for $50, I believe. So that $50 one, that'll sell next. That's fine. I'm probably going to list this around $99, $110, somewhere in the middle of the 2, maybe even higher, $129. And it won't be a quick sale, and my husband probably won't like shipping it because it is a standard longer game box, but that's pretty good for a game. I just have to go through and make sure all these cards are here and make sure it's good, but it looks like it has all the pieces. Games are pretty easy as well to make sure they have all the pieces, because 99% of the time you have instructions. And what's the very first thing on instructions? Contents. Like always. They always lay it out for you. It should have 200 cards and 3 die, and it's good. So this one is one that I will sell whole. Like I said, $40 or $50 is my threshold for whole games, usually about $50, because otherwise I can sell it in pieces, make the same, if not more money. It's easier. So I have a Rick and Morty Risk game. I never watched Rick and Morty. I don't know anything about this, but this is a rather popular game. Looks like it sells for about $30 as a whole used game. I'm going to part it out. It's got a bigger box. It's a bit heavier. There are several for sale right now. and it's just not worth it. This board is huge. All right. I will list this separately. I have tried selling boards a couple different ways. I have tried putting them in lots, like craft lots of like 10. You know, they've had like Disney Monopoly and like all these different, like a wide range. I've tried just putting Monopoly boards together, or just, there's even still some bundles listed. It didn't work. Nobody bought those, but they will buy individual boards. You just have to be very careful that you say board only in your title, your description, all that. Not a complete game. For all of these listings, not a complete game is one of my bullet points in my description. I have had people buy things before and say, I thought I was getting the whole game, even though it was just a board listed on Poshmark. All the pictures, just a board. Description, just a board. Poshmark sided with me and said, lady, that was just a board. One of the only Poshmark cases I've ever had. So, but for the most part, people are so happy. They will pay, $12 for that board. And that's it. They're good to go. All right. So that's one listing, $12 board. This has many pieces, and it looks like they are all relatively tidy in their baggies. It's got the little guys. This is not a vintage game. It was 2018. Some of these listings I will put on Etsy because I like to list things as craft pieces as well. So I'll use all of the things in the title. I will use replacement game piece, tokens, cupcake toppers. If you were planning some sort of themed party and Rick and Morty party, I don't know if that's a thing, but it would be hard to say 5 times fast. Then having all these little things on top of cupcakes or a cake, or even like your little confetti on the table. I don't know how crazy you are about Rick and Morty, but those are super fun party themed things. So I will put cupcake toppers, birthday party, and then I will also put craft supplies, craft pieces, because they can definitely do things with these pieces for that. So I'm going to open up the instruction booklet. The other thing is, even though I'm not selling this as a complete game, it is very nice to use the terms that's in the instruction booklet. I parted out a game the other day. I do not remember the name of the game. It was quite nerdy, quite fun looking. I didn't play it. But the cards, it had so many different cards, elaborate graphics on them and all these wonderful things. Card with dude. Like, I didn't know what to put and describe each one. The instruction manual will tell you that was a horror card set of 6, or the cave mission cards set of 5, largest fear card. It was a weird game. But it told me exactly, there was like 100 cards, and it told me exactly how many should be in each card category and what to call them. Those are great key terms. People are going to be looking because they messed up the spiders out of the game. Now, I was missing 2 spider cards in one of those sets of cards, and I just put that in my title, missing 2 spiders, because somebody who has the spiders but needs the snakes and the fire, they can still buy my set, and they're going to be super pumped because they probably sent me an offer for like $8, and I said, deal. It's going to be great. So I've got cards, the cards and the instructions. That's probably going to be one listing. I've got Little tokens. Now, this is without me looking at the thing to making sure I have all the pieces and actually how to divide them. But this is as much thought as I put into it, guys, really. Like, I just look and go, yeah, I think people would buy those together. They got this little cardboard board, whatever these tokens are called. They're just little cardboard pieces. That's another listing. Depending on the game, some like war games and strategy games and stuff like that will have lots of different pieces. Some, tanks versus army men versus, you got certain pieces that are red, yellow, blue, green. You got like 100 of each color. I will list those individually. I've sold, just the purple ones, just the red, all for $9 a piece or $10 a piece or whatever I list them for. Oh man, these are weird. These do have tanks and army people. Yeah, I'm going to list these all individually. There's quite a bit of pieces in each of these. They're all quite different and creepy. So it's 5 listings, $9 a piece. Again, I take offers, so 20% off, $7.20. Probably what I'll sell each of these for. But that's more than what the whole game is worth if you just list the game. And look how much space that's going to take up in my inventory and how big it's going to be when I go to ship it in a bubble mailer, because I send the majority of this stuff in a bubble mailer. So that's 5 listings right there. And then I would do another listing with all these tokens once I make sure they're all there. They all come with the little holders. That one almost fell in my smoothie. And then with these game tokens, game pieces, people, character, whatever these guys are, I'm also going to put in the dice. I normally don't sell the dice with the game. Normally it's just basic. They're just basic dice. When they're cool colors like this, so I'll throw them in with something or sometimes sell them separate. If you get an old story game and it has the wooden pieces, the wooden dice, I sell those separate. People love the old or unique dice. I once got a game for like $1 or $2. I think it was $1. And it was called something like 1,000 dice or something like that. It was a lot. It was a lot of dice. It had 100 mini dice, just the mini dice. It had 100 of them, and they were like a centimeter. They were so tiny. I split those up into sets of 10. So 10, quantity of 10, one listing, mini dice. You get 10 mini dice. I sold all of them very quickly, along with all the other types of dice that came in that game. They all got listed individually, quantities of 10. I hope someday that I find more of those games. I have since looked them up to try to buy them and break them out online, and they were ridiculously priced at the time because apparently it's a popular game. But I guarantee that I made more money parting out the dice for sure. Okay, this is going to kill you. This is plastic. This is cardboard. They get recycled. Just recycle them. That's it. We're not listing them. If it is a super rare game and the box is truly worth something, list the box. I know people that will list this box. I'm not listing the box and I'm not listing the game whole because I don't want to store it and I don't want to ship it. So the $9 that I could have got for the box, no. Adios, on to recycling. If you want to list the box, more power to you. That's fine. That's fine. I don't have room for that. I don't want to do it. So I just turned what might have been a $30 board game. If I listed it complete, it's going to sit forever. Not that game pieces have a high or a quick sell through. I'm not saying that these aren't going to sit for a little while. But I've now turned that into about $80. A lot less storage space. A lot less to ship. These board games, the game boards. Be careful how you word that in your title. Do not say board game if you're just selling the board. It is a game board only. That's like your 3 words, most important words of your listing. Game, board, only. We'll still search if you look up board game, but they need to read. So what I do is I take my handy dandy American Bubble Boy stretch wrap wand here, and I put a little layer around here. So when I print my SKU sticker, it goes right on here, and I stick it. We have like some open bins in the basement. It sticks there. So when I sell a board, my husband can just flip through and find that number of board. I will he'll either wrap it in bubble wrap and put it in a poly mailer. Some of them are small enough they fit in a bubble mailer. But sometimes if they're more vintage and brittle, like this one's thick. This guy, little bubble wrap, poly mailer, easy to ship. Some of them I will put some cardboard in between, which those awkward, weird boxes, or part of the box that you had to take parts off of, like your scrap cardboard, use that for this. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be a special thing you buy. Use that for this. You use your scraps up. Then put it in a poly mailer. Or a bubble mailer if you got giant bubble mailers. Those Ground Advantage packaging everybody's got now. Little bubble wrap. Boom. Padded envelope. Done. Does not have to go in a box. It's pretty sturdy. We just don't want them to bend it too much. But I think you're good. Like, I've never had an issue. Sell quite a bit of these. All right. That's how I part out a game. Turn a $30 game into an $80 game. Give or take some offers and sales, but still pretty good for something that I paid a couple dollars for at a thrift store or came in on consignment. Tell your consigners what you love to sell. I had someone clean out the attic of their barn and bring me all of their grandparents' old board games. And it made me so happy. So happy. So tell your consigners what you like. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Your great Aunt Linda is going to go clean out the game closet when you're at Christmas dinner because she had no idea that made you happy and then that's what you want to sell or whatever it is. You like video games? You didn't even know that great grandma had a box of them from when your uncle was little. Like, you didn't know that. So tell her. Or she'll just look at you and say, what's a video game? It could go either way, but it's fine. All right, I think that's it. Everybody have a wonderful and profitable day. I hope your Q4 is kicking it up for you. If it's not, just keep listing. It will happen. Maybe Q1 of next year is your time. And it's going to happen. It's going to. Just keep building your store. Keep listing. You've got this. Have an awesome day.
For all things Consignment Chats, visit us at consignmentchats.com and join our free private communities on Facebook and/or Patreon.